Okay, I think that's the majority of people on, so we'll probably make a start. So hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. So this will be an introduction to GeoSLAM Connect and the workflows within it. So today's webinar is going to be hosted by myself. So I'm Josh, I'm the product marketing specialist here at GeoSLAM.
And I'm Katie, I'm an application engineer.
So we'll be recording this session and you'll receive an email with a link to the recording after the webinar is finished. And any links that we'll have in the webinar on the slides will be included in that link as email as well. Please also use the Q&A section in the webinar panel to ask any questions throughout. And what we'll do is we'll have a little Q&A session at the end. So just to go through today's webinar, the agenda. So most of you will know kind of who we are, but we'll just kind of briefly cover the main points about GeoSLAM, so who we are. We'll quickly cover the ZEB family, and we'll go over our SLAM algorithm, GeoSLAM Beam. I'll then hand over to Katie, who will go through everything Connect. So we should do a quick intro to Connect, information on installing the software, licensing it, an overview of the viewer, as this is slightly different to the one in Hub. She'll cover all the main sort of geoscripts and the workflows we have. And then sort of a quick touch on Draw 4.0 and any third-party software that you can use GeoSLAM Connect with. And then I'll kind of cover the last few bits, so any kind of relation to GeoSLAM Care customers, how they can get Connect, where to find all the resources that we've made with information about Connect, and how you guys can try Connect today for free. And as I said, we'll finish with a quick Q&A session at the end. So just again, a quick kind of brief information about GeoSLAM. So as you all know, so we are, we have the smart way to map and understand spaces, obviously sort of making it easy to capture data in the field and then sort of kind of connect it with the world around us. So we've kind of been in the game now for over kind of 20 years. So we've got a lot of experience in making complex solutions quite simple. And as you can see on the screen, our kind of core values. So we kind of value some of the speed. So we've got up to kind of 10 times faster kind of the scanning than traditional survey techniques. We like to make our solutions quite simple to use, and those sort of solutions that require minimal training, so anyone can kind of use our system with ease. And then kind of I want to focus on the last part of this, which is the automation side of things. So a lot of our workflows are quite intuitive and, as I said, require minimal user input. And I think this will be kind of one of the main takeaway points from today, as I kind of think Connect really kind of fits into this automation side of things. So as you can see from the screen, so since GeoSLAM started, we've sold over 2,000 systems across 70 different countries for over 100 different applications. So really kind of the uses of GeoSLAM are pretty limitless, and we're always kind of constantly expanding our network into more industries and regions as well. So here's just a selection of images of our customers using our GeoSLAM systems. So as you can see, we've got things from monitoring volcano activity to construction sites, a bit of forest vegetation, and kind of lost cities. And as you can see, our solutions are being used for a variety of different applications as well. So you'll see we've got the traditional handheld, we've got the UAV mounted systems, and also the car mounted systems as well. So you'll all be familiar with the ZEB family. So our three main scanners are the ZEB Go, the ZEB Revo RT, and the ZEB Horizon. And then we've also got the ZEB Discovery and the ZEB Locate as well. All of these use our next generation SLAM, GeoSLAM Beam, which I'll come on to in a second. And also any kind of new purchase, any new system purchased sort of from the beginning of last month now comes with GeoSLAM Connect as a standard software package. And it's sort of also available for our existing customer network, but we'll touch on more about this towards the end of the webinar. So before I hand over to Katie, I just want to mention GeoSLAM Beam. So most of you will be aware of what SLAM is, so that's the simultaneous localization and mapping. So I won't go into too much detail about kind of the basics of SLAM, but I kind of just wanted to touch on the fact that we've constantly been developing and continually enhancing our SLAM over the years, and our amazing SLAM team have done a lot of work in recent months, kind of getting that, you know, to be in the forward thinking sort of technology, and we kind of feel like it's evolved so much from the original SLAM that we had, that we wanted to kind of claim it as our own, and hence, and this has now sort of become GeoSLAM Beam. This is kind of how we want to define our specialized SLAM within the market. So this is how we'll be referring to our SLAM in the future, and we kind of feel like it's the newest and the smartest SLAM algorithm out there. So just some of the features of GeoSLAM Beam. So you can expect kind of high levels of accuracy. So the algorithm enables all of our scanners to achieve, you know, a level of accuracy that meets mapping requirements and kind of exceeds other SLAM-based mapping systems. So some of you will have seen from our website and from some of our social posts recently that we've published an accuracy report. So this has compared the accuracy of GeoSLAM scanners to other mobile mapping systems. So this is available to view right now on our website if you wanted to take a look at that. We feel like this is quite a robust and reliable SLAM, so we've tried and tested it in a variety of environments, so whether that's indoors, outdoors, underground, kind of you name it, we've tested it. We feel like it's the most successful SLAM as well for mapping, so it's used by thousands of businesses around the world, and it's, you know, it's a pretty robust solution, and really we feel like it pushes the boundaries as well. So what we've done in this new SLAM is we've got the option of doing some open loop data capture, which is now possible. So before it was a lot of closed loops, so starting and stopping in the same place, whereas now with GeoSLAM Beam, we have the potential to start and stop in different locations. So obviously with standard SLAM sort of presets applied, so it performs kind of well for walking. It can be used on robots, as mentioned, on cars, scooters, bikes, and we've even had some good data sets on boats as well. So obviously this is all possible in our brand new software, GeoSLAM Connect. So I'm now going to hand over to Katie, who will talk you through all the technical side with the software.
Lovely, thank you, Josh. So yeah, thank you for that introduction. So we're here to talk about GeoSLAM Connect. This is our latest software platform. Hopefully, if you're an existing user, you'll already be familiar with GeoSLAM Hub, but we're now going to talk about Connect and the future of our processing platforms going forward. So as Josh has given the introduction to our SLAM, Connect is still powered by this GeoSLAM Beam SLAM, so the world's leading SLAM. And then this is alongside a different data viewer than we had in Hub, additional processing options, we've got filtering and workflow automation tools. We can also integrate really easily into third-party applications. So with the press of one button, this is how we're now processing data based on workflows and geoscripts. We'll get into what those mean in a second. So now you go from capture, which we all know is really quick and easy, to having useful information in minutes. Capturing with any of our ZEB systems is still the same, and then you'll process now through GeoSLAM Connect, and then be able to view in our new viewer, and then take this into third-party softwares. But the main thing behind Connect is that everything is more automated. We wanted to make sure everything was done with one button click, optimizing workflows for performing repetitive tasks and simplifying everything that we've already got in Hub that we know works and we've worked on for a long time to get right. We just now want to be able to take that forward and be a bit more adaptable to different markets, by changing workflows quickly, processing large amounts of data, and building your own workflows. So we have a feature comparison table here. We do have some similarities to Hub. The drag and drop feature that is really popular. It's a really great way of being able to process your data, quick and easy. We've still got reprocessing options, which are available. Most of the time, your scan will process absolutely fine. If there are any processing options that you'd like to change, such as the bounding box or a range filter, you're still able to do that within Connect. We have adjust to control and also locate, which were featured in GeoSLAM Hub. These have now been slightly changed into different workflows. Again, we'll come on to that in just a second. And we are still focusing on SLAM and data quality. This has always been at the forefront of what we do. We're just trying to constantly improve this. So therefore, we've added SLAM presets for UAVs, tunnels, open featureless spaces, etc. We've added a better viewer so that you can see your data more clearly. We've added Draw 4.0 for going on and doing additional tasks such as small CAD drawings and different export options. And we've also added a filtering option as well. So to make sure that your data is the best quality it can be from start to finish, you'll just run one workflow and you'll be able to get a filtered output. Okay, so let's just talk about some of the features of Connect. So I just mentioned we've got some SLAM environmental presets. We've been working hard on optimizing the SLAM parameters for different environments, as I mentioned, such as UAV and outdoor. Sometimes you have to change the parameters to make sure that the SLAM is working for your environment. We put a lot of hard work and effort into looking at these presets and using these as an option for you so that you can pick the one that is most applicable to your application. So going on to the default workflows that we have closed and open loop georeferencing. So this is the almost rebrand of the ZebLocate data. So using data from our ZebLocate system, you're able to do closed and open loop georeferencing, where we match the GPS data collected from your receiver to the trajectory of your system. Stop and go alignment is a new feature where common static points are captured during the scan or during both scans, and then these can be automatically aligned within one workflow. So you're able to match these based on the common control points. So if you've got large data sets, you are able to do this all within one workflow. Stop and go georeferencing, if you're familiar with using Hub, this is adjust to control. So where known control points are captured during your scan, and these are automatically compared and matched to coordinates during processing. So you can do this in a rigid or a non-rigid adjustment. We'll get into what that means in just a second. But you'll have your accuracy report, all of your control points, and your data all available within the viewer. Also change detection. So this is a simple method to highlight areas of change within two scans. You can compare this with a CAD model. So this is really great in construction progress. But yes, you can, week on week, you can see the progress of your building site or your stockpile, for instance, and map the changes based on this visual indicator. We also have floor slices. So this is a slice that is taken at every level from a scan. Every floor is automatically identified, and a PNG is created of your floor slice, which is scaled and referenced to 1 centimetre per pixel. So this is a really nice, easy way just to define the space that you've got, unlock any hidden potential in a building, and automatically map all of the space within an area. So let's begin by talking about installation and licensing. If you've already installed Hub, you can install Connect over the top. If you already have a Hub license, again, you are able to run Connect alongside this, as the licenses work slightly differently. We'll talk about obtaining a license at the end of this webinar, but for now let's talk about the installation. So this is very, very similar to Hub. You'll be able to download this from our website. All of the system requirements are online as well. So when you download, you'll be able to see all of the system requirements. These are very similar to Hub. So if you're already running Hub, you'll be able to run Connect with no issues. So all of our software information is is installed to the program data file. This will create a project setup for you. So it also does project management. And what we mean by this is that the geoscripts will already be in one location. These are downloaded on install. And also your projects will be saved within this same file with inputs, outputs, and reports. So all of your project is managed for you. So you can see here that now we get to the license installer. This is the GeoSLAM License Manager, which is a new tool where you're able to see your every different product that you have installed. So if you have GeoSLAM Connect, you'll be able to license this here. You'll also be able to license GeoSLAM Hub licenses through this license manager. You'll be able to see your expiry dates when you're due for a care renewal and the different products that you have available to you in terms of your modules. So as you can see here, this shows your expiry date, your activation code, and all of the modules will be listed at the bottom of your license. So let's talk about the GeoSLAM viewer. So this is new and improved. We've been working on GeoSLAM Connect for a couple of years now, and we've been through a few iterations of the viewer and how it looks. And based on a lot of customer feedback, we've optimized it for simplicity. There's not too many buttons, but we've also organized it into a project-based data management situation. So on the left-hand side, you can see the data management tab. It's based on projects. So once you bring a scan into the viewer, you'll have all of your information under that scan heading. You can bring multiple scans into a project. So once you set up a project, you can have a time series of data through that project, and all of your information saved in that one area. At the top, you'll see your workflows button, different views that you can save, and also a reports function as well. And then the data visualizations tab has lots of different ways of viewing the data. We've got including different color ramps. We have an eye dome lighting feature, which enables you to see a little bit more detail in your scan. So if you're zoomed in, you're able to see a lot more detail, and we've included that, which is an addition from Hub. We've got a clipping box as well, so you'd be familiar with that. And we've also got language support for different languages. We've got Spanish, and we have Chinese at the moment, but we will be, based on feedback, including more language supports for the viewer. So geoscripts and modules. Geoscripts, you may have heard this word kind of being used with Connect a lot. This is the key to running workflows within Connect. So workflows are made up of different separate commands or modules, and these are all linked together in the script. At the moment, we have all the default workflows that we're about to speak through. These are all been created by GeoSLAM, and these cover most of the use cases within Connect and within processing your data. If you have any suggestions about other workflows that you'd like to see, please get in touch with us. We'd love to know how we can make your workflow simpler, which is the whole point of Connect. So inside a workflow, inside a GeoScript, there are modules which are sort of like mini workflows within the script, and they provide a function of their own. An example of this is how we process our SLAM. So when you drag and drop a .geoslam file in, or a zip file from a Revo, it will automatically recognize which scanner it's from. and it will assign that and process that within the GeoSLAM workflow. You can link all of these modules together with specific commands to create a bespoke workflow. So if you're interested in learning more about GeoScripts modules and commands, please let us know. We'd love to kind of tell you more about that. This is all changeable at the moment. So if you have a scripting background, you are more than welcome to get in touch, and we'll tell you a bit more about GeoScripts. Okay, so let's go on to the first workflow, which is GeoSLAM. You'll all be familiar with this if you've used Hub. So this is kind of our most basic workflow, which will just get you from a raw .geoslam or zip file to an end product. All of these videos are available on the GeoSLAM Academy. I will speak through them now, but you can go back and access them at any time. So to start a project, you will just give it a project name and then select the workflow that you need. So in this case, we're selecting GeoSLAM. And for the inputs here, you can input a .geoslam file, or you can input a zip file from a Revo. You're able to select the export format. So we have LES, LEZ, PLY, and text files. You can select the spatial decimation of your point cloud in millimeters. And then you can also select the SLAM processing type. So we just spoke about the different presets. This is available here. We also have a filtering option. We have a tick box for filtering data. So you're able to do this with the GeoSLAM workflow. And then once you've selected all of your inputs, just process and you'll be able to see your results once the workflow is completed. But once you've selected process, then you don't need to do anything else. The workflow will run through all that for you. So you can see here in the viewer, our scan has processed. You're able to see your trajectory to understand a little bit more information about how the data was captured. And you can visualize those results in the viewer. Also worth mentioning that we still do have the reprocessing options available as well. So you're able to use those with the GeoSLAM workflow. So change detection is the next workflow we're about to speak to. This is identifying change in 3D space over time. So what you'll need for this is 2 scans which are captured at different points in time. Using known control points between the scans to align them, you'll perform the change detection within the GeoScript, and then you'll run the workflow to identify the change. So to do that, again, you'll need to set up your project. And then assign it a workflow and create that project. So you can either drag and drop the data, or you can browse the data sets here. So we have scan 1 and scan 2, which have areas of common control points and at least a 30% overlap in the scan. So once I've selected both of my data sets, the workflow then runs. And you will see everything. You'll see the processed LAS file, and you will also get a results file, which shows you the change as well. So you'll need to click on your results tab to show your results. This is the comparison scan. And this will show everything that is new in the scan in green and everything that has been taken away in blue, so everything that's been removed from the scene. And once this loads, you can see this is a small scan of a back garden where they were doing some renovations to a swimming pool. So in green, you can see the steps have been added since the last scan, and various apparatus was taken away, such as the wheelbarrow. So this gives you a really nice and easy way to visualize change. This is one example, but we have used this successfully in construction sites to monitor the change over time. So floor slices. This is a workflow that we wanted to be able to simplify, seeing how much space you have in an area. So this is taking a slice of your scan at a set height over each floor. You can determine the thickness of the floor slice. So once you've added your data in, the .geoslam data, you're able to add the thickness of the floor slice. This is in meters. You're also able to add an image folder. So we have a GeoSLAM app that is separate to this, that you're able to take images to add more reference to the scan, where you're able to input photos, input notes, and have these displayed within the Connect viewer. So I'll just open the results. This is the results PNG. This is a scan of our office down up here in Nottingham. And then the LAS file as well has also been processed. So you can see here when we take the top off, we've also got some notes within there, which have the correct heading position of the direction that they were taken. This adds a little bit more information to the scan. You're able to see here the images that we've taken. This at the moment is supported on Android devices, and you're able to add notes from the keyboard, or you're able to type notes in, or you're able to dictate notes, sorry, whilst you're walking around the scan. So stop and go georeferencing. This is, if you're familiar with adjust to control, this is a very similar method to adjust to control. We have a more complex matching algorithm in the Connect. So where the other method was very manual, and there was a lot of manual matching of your control points versus static points in the scan, this is now done for you. The algorithm will identify your reference points. It will match it to your input control points, so you don't have to do any manual matching anymore. So you'll select your .geoslam file, you'll select your control point file, and the input format for this is tab delimitated, and it's name, then X, Y, and Z. So once you've input your control file, once the workflow has finished, you'll have your georeferenced scan to that control point file. So yeah, no more manual matching. It saves a lot of time. You're able to perform a rigid and non-rigid adjustment within the stop and go georeferencing workflow. And you can see here that we've got the georeferenced file, but also the georeferenced trajectory. And you can also visualize the control points file within the viewer. And also, as you can see now, you've got your error file as well. That's all loaded within the viewer now. So it's really easy to see your information. So closed loop georeferencing, this is the data that you'll get from our ZebLocate system. Again, this is much easier than Hub, where you had to use 2 pieces of software. At the moment now, this is all contained within Connect. So again, you'll start your project, add your project and your workflow in Connect. And this will do a rigid georeferencing of the SLAM data based on your GPS data. So you'll select your .geoslam file, and you'll select your GPS data in a CSV format. We have been working with the Catalyst whilst we were researching this and whilst we were producing this, but it does work with any GNSS receiver. So as long as you're able to output data in 1 Hz data rate in a CSV format, and and with time, latitude, longitude, elevation, and an accuracy field, you're able to use that data within GeoSLAM Connect. So the time sync is between the scanner and the GNSS clock. It's not essential because we're aligning using the trajectories, so don't worry too much about the time sync. But we have examples of the file structure if you want to incorporate any other receiver with your GeoSLAM data. Please get in touch with GeoSLAM support if you're not sure about the file format. So stop and go alignment. This is a new feature. We wanted a way to work with bigger projects in Hub and be able to align two data sets together. We're working on updating and incorporating the merge function from Hub into Connect. This isn't quite ready yet, but we have stop and go alignment as a way to at least align two larger scans together. So you'll capture scans in a similar way as before, where you'll use common control points to align them with at least 30% overlap. Ideally, you would use more than 4 common control points. And if you're unsure how to get the reference points in the scan, you'll hold your scanner still over a stationary location to create reference points in the overlap between the scans. So if you hold it still for about 10 seconds, you'll create a reference point, and then you're able to match this to your control points. So the control points here are used to create the alignment. You can see we've got scan 1 loaded there. So you'll get the reference scan, and you'll also have the aligned scan in the results tab. And then if we toggle this on and off, you can see that the alignment's quite nice. It just means that it's a non-manual way of bringing the scans together. Okay, so Draw 4.0 is an update to Draw 3.5 that we had that worked with Hub. Lots of our customers are already familiar with the Draw software. We've had a successful partnership for quite a number of years now, and it's a really great way of taking measurements of your point cloud quickly and easily. You're able to export the point cloud to all standard Canvas softwares. There's a number of file formats in Draw that aren't available in Connect currently. And we also have 5 different packages of Draw, so you can select the features that you will find most useful. So Draw Start is the basic package, which has everything you need for kind of sectioning, basic measurements, things like that. And this goes all the way up to Pro, which is ideal for full flexibility and incorporates all of the features of Draw. So GeoSLAM Volumes is another piece of our software that works really well with Connect. We're aiming to have more compatibility with third-party softwares, including our own. So GeoSLAM Volumes was very standalone before, but now we have a workflow within Connect that will georeference your scan data and then decimate that, and you're then able to put it into GeoSLAM Volumes. So if you have data to be captured and registered to a reference scan, or if you need to capture data regularly, you're able to use the reference plate for site monitoring. So you start in the same place each time. And then Connect will be able to run this through, register those data sets together, georeference, add real world coordinates if needed, and then decimate or apply a range filter if you need. This then fits really nicely into our GeoSLAM volume software, so you can prep your data quickly and easily. And as mentioned, we have used our data in all of these different softwares and more If you want to know a little bit more about your workflows and about incorporating your data and your workflows into GeoSLAM Connect, please get in touch with us. We're always looking to be able to simplify solutions. So yeah, please give us your feedback, and we'd be really excited to hear how you use your software. I'm just going to pass back to Josh. He's going to talk about the resources that we've got available for you right now to get started.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Katie. A lot of information going on there. So all of the information that Katie's spoken about, so whether that's installation of the software, licensing, or just more information about the workflows, our main kind of go-to page. So once a customer, once you guys buy a system, so as I mentioned earlier, it comes with Connect as standard, and what we've included now in those new systems are little postcards with the QR codes. So if you scan the QR codes, and there'll be one for relating to the hardware that you've bought, and there'll also be one relating to the software. So on the GeoSLAM Connect QR code, you'll be taken to a nice kind of getting started page. So all of the information about how to get started with Connect is on there. So as you can see from the screen, it gives you a brief overview of the workflow that Katie outlined earlier. Some links to the hardware that it's compatible with as well. Academy links that I will touch on in the next section. And then below it's got a bit more information about the available software. So a bit more information about Connect, and also more importantly, the download links. So you can download the software via these getting started pages. All of these pages as well are available as links on the website. So if you don't have one of these postcards, then you can just click the links on the site. Bit more information about GeoSLAM Care, as well as information about the support team. So again, if you have any questions that you want to raise, or any issues that you find, please get in touch with the support team. And then at the bottom is a bit more information about all the accessories, the hardware accessories that you can purchase additionally. So this leads on to GeoSLAM Academy. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, we have this is our main after-sales learning platform. The resources here include everything from user guides to all the instructional videos that Katie took you through with the workflows. So you'll find all of your hardware needs under the capture section, and then all of the software needs under the process and view section. So this is where you'll find all the information relating to GeoSLAM Connect. So the main Connect page has all the information you'll need on how to get up and running with Connect. So a bit more information about how to install the software, how to license it for the first time. As Katie mentioned, kind of the minimum system requirements for any machine that you're in Connect on will be in there as well. And we also have a big FAQ section. There are also kind of several sub pages where you can find more information about each of the workflows that we've covered. These include, as I mentioned, all the videos that Katie's shown today. So as some of you will have seen as well on our social channels, any customer who has a valid GeoSLAM Care package can request a free GeoSLAM Connect license right now. If you don't currently have an active care agreement with us, then you just need to simply renew this, and you can get access to Connect for free. Licenses can be requested via the link that you can see there. As I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, we will email you all the relevant links that you'll need after the webinar is finished. So if you're a GeoSLAM Care customer and you'd like to get a Connect license for free, then all you need to do is follow the link and fill out the form, and we can get one generated for you. So we also have the option for non-care customers, or customers that are in care that just want to maybe trial Connect. before actually getting a full license. Again, this is completely free. So you can request a free 7-day trial license. Again, all you need to do is follow the link that you can see to fill out a form. This will get sent through to our helpful support team, and they can generate that trial license for you. Again, all these links will be included in the email afterwards. Alternatively, if you'd like to try out hardware and software as a full solution, then we can arrange demos for you as well, either through our channel managers or through our network of GeoSLAM dealers. Again, just reply to us in the follow-up email or drop any of us an email. We have a variety of social pages, so if you're not following us, then we post a lot of content regularly. So whether that's updates about any new features of GeoSLAM, or things like other helpful webinars that we've got coming up. We post kind of case studies regularly, all kind of call to action things. So make sure you follow us on all the social pages. Again, all you need to do is just search for GeoSLAM, and you shall see us. And that is it from us today. So thank you for listening. Hopefully you've learned more about what Connect can offer you, and that you're just as excited as we are really about this brand new sort of software platform that we have. As we mentioned, we'll have an email sent out with all the links that we've shown in the webinar. All the user videos and guides are on Academy, so I'd recommend going to check those out. If you've got any other questions, either drop myself or Katie an email, or speak to the support team. We'll all be happy to help. So we'll have a quick Q&A, so we'll have a look at some of the questions.
It's good to see that we've got quite a lot of questions. The first one, so RE change detection, what type of changes would be detected? Would it show changed within an area, for instance? So the change detection is based on voxels of space and the change between scans. So it will show in green anything within a certain pre-specified voxel of space, which you'll see in green, and anything that has been removed in blue. Just another one there about selecting the default data folder. At the moment, we can't change this. We will be including this in a later version of Connect, but this, yeah, you will be able to change it a little bit later on. At the moment, it's still going to be in your program data folder. Is GeoSLAM Connect replacing Hub? GeoSLAM Connect will eventually be replacing Hub. We haven't updated Hub since version 6.1, which was back in 2019. And we see GeoSLAM Connect as our platform going forward. We're able to customize it a lot more. It's a lot more automated, which is the direction that we'd like to go in with our software. So eventually, yes, it will be replacing Hub. As we mentioned, we are shipping GeoSLAM Connect with any new devices purchased now, but we also get GeoSLAM Hub with that, as we recognise there are some features in Hub that aren't quite in Connect yet. So you will still get opportunity to use both at the moment. How do you take reference points from a drone? So the reference points, you'll need to be static to take the reference points for 10 seconds. So from a drone, if you want to georeference data, we suggest using checkerboard targets, white lines. Our Horizon scanner is able to utilize intensity data, so you can use your checkerboard targets or white lines for taking reference points from drones. What's the difference between rigid and non-rigid adjustment? Great question. So a rigid adjustment will just translate your scan to fit the control points. A non-rigid adjustment will perform a global SLAM, which takes into account your control points. So this will influence the SLAM a little bit, it will change your output, but you may find that this makes it a little bit more accurate, and you get a better result with a non-rigid adjustment. With stop and go alignment, are the 2 point clouds merged so that they can be created, so they can be exported as one single point cloud, i.e. in one NAS file? At the moment, no. So with stop and go alignment, we are just aligning the scans together. If you load both of these scans into GeoSLAM Draw, you're able to export these as one point cloud, but this is just for aligning larger data sets. This one says, hi, I've got the old GeoSLAM ZebRevo. Is the Connect compatible with the old scanner? Of course it is, yes. ZebRevo is still an important part of still a great scanner for us. So yes, we do support the ZebRevo with Connect. So the main difference between Connect and Hub, so the question is, what is the main difference between Connect and Hub? The main difference really is that it works on kind of a project level, and we are working with geoscripts, so everything is automated. So for example, you can do adjust to control in Hub, but it's definitely a more manual and time-consuming practice, whereas you can do adjust to control in Connect, and it is one simple workflow where you define your parameters and then click process. We have a couple of other differences, a couple of improvements, filtering, things like that, different options for the viewer. What percentage of overlap is needed for stop and go georeferencing? So for stop and go georeferencing, you will just need to stop in a position for 10 seconds, and the algorithm will match the reference point that you have collected to a known control point that you then import into Connect. So the overlap is necessary for alignment, stop and go alignment. I know that, sorry, there's a lot of a lot of similar phrases going on here. All of the videos that have been through are on the Academy, so please take a look at a later date as well, and you can see the differences there. Can you merge more than 2 scans? Is there a limit? At the moment, it is 2 scans. I mentioned that we are working on updating and incorporating a different merge function into Connect, because we have a merge function in Hub, but we're going to update this into a later version of Connect. So at the moment, with stop and go alignment, you can only you can only align 2 scans. Is there an option to colorize the point cloud like was available in Hub? Unfortunately, not in Connect at the moment. This was one of the features that we're prioritizing for development work, and we are looking to update our colorization offering. We've had some recent announcements that are quite exciting, including a different camera. So please take a look on the website for more information about colorization options that are coming to GeoSLAM. Does Connect need to be connected to the internet when used? That's a great question. You are able to activate your license offline as you were in Hub, and you're able to use Connect completely offline. So you can use it in the field. Yeah, you don't need internet to be connected to use Connect. Sorry. What are the output formats? Very similar to what we have in Hub. So we have LAS, LAZ, PLY, and text. But we also have different output formats if you take your data into Draw. So a lot of kind of CAD formats, DWG, Revit file formats, things like that.
Another question, someone who currently has a license, do they automatically receive an upgrade? So if you are a GeoSLAM Care customer, then you can just request a license for free. So this will be via the links that we send you in the follow-up email. If you don't currently have a GeoSLAM Care contract, and so this would probably need to be renewed in order for you to get it for free. So we probably recommend that would be the easiest way to get access to the software. If not, then you can also request the 7-day free kind of trial license, just to see whether Connect is something that works with your workflow.
Just the top question there, will we be able to export reduced A to C point clouds? I'd just like to stress that Connect is very adaptable. A lot of our workflows that we've created are default workflows, but we can change any of these. If you do have specific needs, or if you have something like you want to export a decimated point cloud, we are able to write that into workflows and kind of update these geoscripts really quickly. We're quite adaptable to kind of changing market needs and things like that, which was the whole point of Connect. So if you see a feature and you'd like to incorporate that into your workflow, please get in touch with us. We'd love to know how you'd like to use Connect. Can I activate the same license on GeoSLAM Hub and Connect? So they are different licenses. You'll probably, if you're using Hub, you'll already have a separate license code for Hub, and you'll able to get a separate license code for Connect. You can use them on the same machine, that's not a problem, but the activation codes will be different. Is it limited, integration with third-party software, is it limited to a certain type of software? No limitations really. We're trying to make it so that we are able to export very common file formats. Again, we'd like to understand a little bit more about how our customers are using our data and how they then take that into third-party software. So if you have any specific needs, please get in touch and we can try and make that as seamless as possible. Is it possible to georeference the data from Horizon for OpenLoop? Yes, so OpenLoop georeferencing is available at the moment. We've been testing it quite a lot, so we've been trying to refine the workflow and make sure it is kind of as accurate as we can be. So it is still kind of undergoing testing. We have some customers that are doing some kind of real world testing for us at the moment. We've got some great results from it. So if you are interested in OpenLoop georeferencing, OpenLoop locate, please get in touch with us. But that would be the possibility of starting a scan in one place and taking a linear scan and ending in a different point. So can we add ground control points from point cloud, not on trajectory? So if you're talking about the stop and go georeferencing, it's just the on trajectory reference points that are matched to ground control points at the moment. What's the coordinates format in a CSV file for georeferencing? Yeah, so you will need to have it tab delimited, and it will be the name of the control point, the X, Y, and Z position. If you're unsure about any of this, we can send you some sample data sets just to get your file formats in the correct way. So to collect a reference point when using our base plate offering, you do have to physically set it over the point. There is a star on the front of the reference plate, which you'll then be able to match to a survey nail or a checkerboard target. But yes, you do have to set it on the ground to then collect that point. If you want a physical collection of reference points, you can do that. But again, if you're using Horizon, we do have intensity values available to you, so you are able to use checkerboard targets or white lines or survey paint to also georeference. I was informed to keep scans at 20 minutes maximum with Connect. Does that change? Yes, sorry, no, it doesn't change. All of our scanners, we do recommend kind of 20 to 25 minutes maximum, and this is just to keep the file size down, so that you're able to reprocess, you're able to keep a manageable kind of file format, and it also reduces the likeliness of drifting. So yes, we do recommend kind of 20 to 25 minutes scanning time. If I currently use Hub 6.1 and Draw 3.5, is the Draw 4.0 upgrade also included in GeoSLAM Care? Yes, if you're already using Draw 3.5 and you have an active care agreement, then you can upgrade to Draw 4.0. That's not a problem.
So in terms of, so is the GeoSLAM Connect license different from GeoSLAM Hub? So yes, it will be. So there'll be a different activation code that you'll need for Connect. So as Casey mentioned earlier, you can have both of these licenses active, so you can access Hub and Connect at the same time, but they will be a different license code.
Right, we've got still quite a lot of questions to answer, so we'll kind of finish wrapping up. You can take the last one.
Yeah. So the last one is processing the data by Connect, increasing the accuracy. So as I mentioned, our SLAM algorithm is constantly being updated. So we feel like we've got kind of the world leading SLAM at the moment, and this is kind of the powerhouse behind Connect. So we feel like it will be kind of slightly more accurate data. Obviously, it's kind of the standard SLAM capturing settings apply. So as long as a scan is captured correctly, so as Katie said, no more than kind of 20 to 25 minutes, this should increase the accuracy with your data. I can see we've got, so there's a few other questions that we've haven't been able to answer. So what we'll do is we'll follow up with you guys directly. Again, sort of thank you for listening to this webinar. Hopefully you found that kind of insightful, and that you're kind of more knowledgeable about GeoSLAM Connect. As always, if you have any questions or any other questions that you kind of think of after this webinar is finished, then drop myself or Katie an email, or you can email support@geoslam.com, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, everyone. We'll speak to you soon.